So what did you want to talk about out of this?
Ciao everyone, FIF is still in Italy. We're in Milano, just having our morning coffee. So we thought we'd go down and have a look at Gazzetta dello Sport. Flick through, see what's going on. When in, yeah. I just said we're in Milan.
It's a saying.
Yeah. Do we have to speak about Cristiano Ronaldo today?
No.
I think we can have a Ronaldo free.
If you're coming for a Cristiano Ronaldo talk, we did a podcast last week and Barry Cabrera did his own video, so go find that. But we're here to talk about transfers, barring Cristiano Ronaldo, basically. I think that might be a theme for the coming season as well.
Yeah. It's either on Ronaldo or not, and this is not on him. There's a lot in the paper about him. There's a big countdown and everything.
-2, Nick.
-2.
-2.
To the big unveiling. So, what's the news, Connor?
We're just diving, so we're not going to talk about the transfers that are already done. Okay.
Yeah. No.
We are.
Whatever, man.
I was thinking maybe we could kick things off by looking at some of the deals that have already been done, because I alluded to it on the podcast last week about Roma and Inter's business and how Inter have actually been building pretty quietly a quite good squad there, and they need to add reinforcements for the Champions League obviously, but the Gazzetta have their predicted 11s, and there's 4 new players in that predicted 11 for next season. So you've got De Vrij, Asamoah and Angelo Napolitano. And with the exception of probably D'Ambrosio, it's not a bad looking starting 11. So
it's coming along. I think the whole Ronaldo thing's kind of just overtaken how good of a squad Inter's starting to build here. Obviously, Rajan Angolan's central to that. How he fits into the squad, still yet to see. But obviously, we all know his kind of talent that he has. And then you've got obviously Asamoah, who, I mean, not a world beater, but I think he's a lot more reliable than who Inter has had in previous seasons in that position. So
it's such a shame that they lost Cancelo, though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you look at how many opportunities he created, often at times when no one else was creating or could cross a ball into the middle. Contreva. So yeah,
he's nowhere near that starting 11.
Yeah, he's. They literally don't have him in the 11 at the moment, which is nice. But I guess that brings us to Politano, which I'm a bit unsure of. I think there's some positives there. I'm just not sure he can do it.
He's a talent, but whether or not he can do it
at this level,
twice a week, every week,
yeah,
especially at the Champions League level, he'll probably be fine in the group stage, you'd imagine. But if they come up against someone like Barcelona, it's a level that he's not used to playing at. But I guess he's earned the chance to try his hand at this level.
Yeah,
like he did impress with Sassuolo. What did he get? 10 goals.
10 goals
last season.
As I said before, 10 goals more than Contreva did last season.
Most of those were probably against Inter, though, because he always scores against Inter at San Siro.
There's some positives.
Just before the season starts and your pessimism kicks in, I want to remind you of something you said to me in Bergamo yesterday. Where are Inter going to finish next season? Second. That's not where he wants them to finish. That is where he says he thinks they will finish. So, guys, stick with me during the season. When it comes to November and Nick's talking about how top 4 is the priority, remind him that he said they'll finish second.
No.
We're moving on.
No,
Roma.
Okay.
Because they've signed 3 players who look like they're going to go straight into their starting 11. Not Patrick Kluivert. Justin Kluivert, Javier Pastore and Brian Cristante. And they look alright. Despite losing Rajan Angolan, which is a huge blow, that midfield 3 now doesn't look too bad. Although, I'd be quite worried about defensive cover because Cristante loves playing as high up the pitch as he can, and Pastore isn't too dissimilar.
Yeah, I mean, they're nice signings, but I'm not convinced by this Roma side. As yet, I'm sure there's still more to come. There has to be, right? Because at the moment, I just think that squad is not a long way, but they're quite a bit behind Juve, Napoli, Inter.
Well, we've got Karsdorp at right back, and I don't know about you, I don't know what to expect from him, because he signed last season and he just kept getting injured.
Yeah.
If we...
I mean, Justin Kluivert's interesting. Obviously, he's Patrick's son. But, I mean, he's done well at Ajax, but how that translates over in Serie A, it's hard to say.
If we just keep scanning through then some of the other teams. Juve, right? Looking at this lineup, forgetting about the Portuguese, Emre Can, Mattia Caldara and João Cancelo in that starting 11. It looks good, Nick.
I mean, I think
they might actually be okay to watch next year, and I don't really like watching Juventus.
I think we were saying the other day, like, how many different teams you could make with that Juventus squad, like different formations, different, like, you could just make so many versions with that squad, and so many versions of the squad that could win the Scudetto. It's a bit...
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. I'm glad you do too.
I mean, yeah, it's...
If we just scan around the rest of the teams, Sassuolo bringing in Federico Di Francesco and Kevin Prince Boateng. I missed the Di Francesco signing. Boateng is obviously one that has grabbed a lot of the headlines, but it could be interesting. That's a decent front three with Berardi, Babacar and Di Francesco now.
I'm interested to see Babacar in a starting lineup on a weekly basis. Because I always think he's done all right when he comes on.
I think he does all right for 5 games of the season.
Yeah, but
and then
how many games does he play?
He's always playing. Honestly, he plays so much more than you think. No. I promise you. There are some signings that I'm kind of taking some personal enjoyment out of Marcos Portiello now playing at Frosinone. We're not going to get into that, but have fun in Serie B next season, Marco. Antonio Legumina going to Empoli is one that I'm excited about, because I covered him a lot back in the Gazzetta World days in the Viareggio Cup when he was at Palermo, and he looks like he could be a talent. Whether or not he's ready for Serie A is one question, but it'll be nice to see him give it a go. What else have we got? There was a great... Alex Meret going to Napoli is one that I'm happy about, because I really rate him as a goalkeeper. Reina, he was good with Napoli, but I never really quite trusted him. So I don't think Napoli look too much weaker than they have in previous years.
Well, while
big
we're on
there,
Napoli,
sorry.
Well, I mean, it looks like you have to think Jorginho's gone.
Yeah, well,
probably
they've got
to
Alan and
Chelsea.
Hamsik and they're starting
I mean,
Gazzetta.
quite possibly by the time this is published, he might even be confirmed. But do you think they need like a big signing? Because no.
Why would they? Like, when you get a team like this, there's always that temptation to say, "Oh, they need a superstar in there," but that could just unsettle absolutely everything.
So you think Ancelotti has enough at the moment to at least
I don't think they have a chance
replicate the level of where they were last season?
No. But I don't think even if Sarri was there, they had a chance of replicating the level they were at last season, because that was just phenomenal. They overachieved by a huge margin, and I think it's just going to be regression to the norm this season, sadly.
What's the norm for them now? Is third like
think so.
below, or
I think
if they finish below second, is that bad?
It will be seen as bad because of what happened last season, but I think that's quite unfair almost, because last season, it's easy to forget because they didn't win the Scudetto, but they were brilliant. They really were a joy to watch, and the football wasn't just satisfying and pleasing on the eye, it was effective.
Yeah.
They were the only ever team to get more than 90 points and not win the league. And I don't know, I'm not quite sold that Ancelotti is the man for this job at this time. I said it on the podcast yesterday, they'll win the Coppa Italia, but I don't know, I'm not convinced. I love Carlo Ancelotti as well, but I'm not sold on it for this job. Sorry, Carlo. What else do you want to do?
I don't know. Lazio's got Echeri in there. It's centre back, pretty much a straight swap.
They might be losing a couple as well. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic possibly go.
Well, yeah, we did speak about them yesterday briefly. Obviously, De Vrij gone, Cherby replaces him, but you have to think if Immobile, a lot is riding on Immobile, I think, with them.
We've got Giovanni Simeone talking about Fiorentina wanted to make an assault on the Europa League. Belotti's back in training. An interview with Josip Ilicic. De Laurentiis apparently told Cavani yesterday to lower his salary and call him, which Edinson Cavani back at Napoli would be a lot of fun.
That'll be great. He was actually really enjoyed him at the World Cup. I was so annoyed that he had to miss that game.
Yeah.
Obviously when they got knocked out because Uruguay, they just looked completely just missing their attack without him. Like, it was a real shame.
He's so heavily criticised, and it's so harsh because I've always liked
I really
Cavani.
like Cavani. I think even Napoli fans still now
Love him.
Yeah.
It might not come to anything, but there's a rumour here about Leonardo Bonucci might be getting a divorce from Milan.
Now this is a little story on the front page as well as a huge follow-up within it.
It's quite small on the front page.
I don't know. Is this surely this is just? I think it's come about because they had a 4-hour meeting at some stage. But I mean,
his agent had a 4-hour meeting with Bassone and Mirabelli.
Oh, his agent.
His agent, yeah, he wasn't there. I don't know. I wouldn't be too surprised if Bonucci moved on, but where would he go?
Yeah, where's
he can't go back to Juve. He's burnt his bridges there.
PSG.
Inter, yeah. Well, that's just the easy one, isn't it? Like, if anyone needs to move, just throw PSG's name out there. I guess Sarri has been appointed at Chelsea now, so we should probably touch on that
this morning. Yeah,
because that will have a knock-on effect on Serie A. Jorginho will probably have gone, as you alluded to. Gonzalo Higuain might be following him to London. Well, what do you think of that? I love Higuain as a player.
I can't stand him.
See? Grazie.
No,
Higuain and
as a player, or
because
I don't like him.
I like him. All right, not as a person. I really rate him as a striker, but I always get nervous when strikers go to Chelsea. I don't know what it is about that club and strikers. They just don't work there. Morata, Torres, Lukaku. Like, it's going on for about 10 years now. Didier Drogba is probably the only success story of a striker at that club.
I mean, Costa was for one season.
Yeah, and then it went to Bosch. But it takes a certain type of striker to work there by the looks of it. I guess Sarri has worked with them.
Yeah. It's a bit sad with Jorginho leaving, particularly after Torreira going to Arsenal as well. That's two big midfielders that Serie A loses.
Yeah. Torreira. We're both heartbroken about this because quite a soft spot for Sam. I think you're probably not too dissimilar there.
Yeah, I mean, well, we have a few FIF staffers that are all Stamp fans actually.
Hello, Vito Doria. Luca
Vito.
I love Lucas Torreira.
Yeah,
for him to leave Serie A is enough of a blow, and then for him to go to Arsenal, because his career is probably just going to completely stagnate now. I think we might have a few Arsenal fan listeners and viewers as well, so apologies to you guys, but
that's probably the worst case for us.
He's probably a player in a similar mold to Jack Wilshere. He's more effective, but I have a really bad feeling about this move for him. He did quite well at the World Cup with Uruguay. Turned a few heads.
Yeah, he was very solid in that midfield.
I love him because he can be a bit of a scumbag, but then when he has the ball, he can spray passes. He's technically very good. He can hit free kicks, as we've seen. But yeah, Torreira's a big loss. I'm quite disappointed that he's not in Serie A anymore.
Well,
Jorginho speaks for himself. He's a Rolls Royce of a player.
I love Jorginho. So I love to just watch him in the midfield. Well, just back to Sarri for a second, because we'll quickly cover Chelsea. What do you think that'll work? Because I know we had a discussion later, and someone didn't seem so positive about it.
I don't trust anyone. I don't trust Chelsea to do anything right with anybody, and that extends to players, coaches, and I just think because of how quickly Pep Guardiola arrived at Manchester City and implemented his style of play, there's going to be that expectation for Sarri to have his style implemented from day one, and if it doesn't go well...
And it's not going to happen from day one.
Would you be surprised if Maurizio Sarri was sacked by November?
Probably not.
No.
Because I can see them not having the patience for him to actually build the start. Because it took a while for him at Napoli to build that. It wasn't just an overnight thing.
Well, this was his third season, and that was when it kind of hit its crescendo.
So, we'll see. We'll see.
Nice little interview with one of my favourite players, Nick. Mattia Caldara. Saying how much he idolises Giorgio Chiellini. I'm quite excited to see that Gazzetta have him in their predicted starting 11 for the old lady next season. We spoke about Caldara the other night. If he's not playing every week for Juve,
such a waste. He has to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's come along so far.
He's too good of a
Even
player
in the last
to be
12
on
months, he has developed so much. So you would hope that he will start. Here's your coffee.
Grazie.
It there. Okay.
We're gonna miss him.
Another team in black and blue stripes. Davide Zappacosta? What do you think?
I don't see it happening. I think it's just...
And then the main man on the front cover is...
Ninja.
Inter Ninja, Rajan Angolan. How excited are you about that?
I think I was saying to you the other day, I haven't quite come to terms with it as yet. Obviously the World Cup's been a bit of a distraction, but I don't know, I'm really interested to see how Mauro Icardi and Rajan Angolan work in terms of personality, because that's two big personalities in one team.
You would imagine, I said this to you would imagine that Nangolan has said some things to Icardi on the pitch before.
What the words that have probably been spoken to between them.
I did think it was quite interesting that Icardi was one of the first to publicly welcome Ninja to San Siro on Instagram. And the message was something like, we will no longer be enemies or something, which is quite cryptic, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just glad he's at Inter just for the pure fact alone that what he's done to Inter the last couple of seasons. He seems to score some of his best bloody goals against the Nerazzurri.
There was one at San Siro where he just drove forward with it for about 50 yards and then smashed it in.
So just that alone is pretty good. But no, it's a position where Inter have really struggled. I do kind of feel bad for Rafinha, to be honest.
He's gone now, is he?
Yeah, he was really starting to come along. But
I still think they need someone like Nangolan will probably play as the 10, won't he? But I think they need more of a traditional trequartista, just to give them that other option, because if they want to go to it,
and
they need Nangolan back deeper sometimes, because Gagliardini, Brozovic, Vecino, who else is there? Borja Valero still there? I think there might come a few times this season where they want to see Nangolan a little bit deeper for his engine more than anything else.
Yeah,
I think they could do with someone who can just, because Nangolan's not one who just unlocks holes, picks locks and stuff, So I don't know. They were linked to Javier Pastore, which would have been interesting, I guess. But I just want them to have a textbook number 10, someone who strolls around the pitch and just picks out passes. Oh well. Is that it?
That's the news. I think so. There's lots going on. It's been pretty. Considering there's been a World Cup on, there's actually quite a bit going on in the old transfer market.
Yeah. I tend to try and avoid it, but
it's kind of trying to catch up. There are some big,
as we saw there going through the teams, there were transfers that we had just completely missed.
Yeah.
That's because we've been distracted by actual football, so apologies. I know a lot of people are more interested in the non-football inside of football, but that's not for me.
That's it from me and Conor in Milan. Might see you again sometime soon. Ciao.
Give Mattia Caldara something on the phone. You raise a new bench player.
Anyway, we're just kind of not really saying much.
I don't think you
I
spoke
don't
English there.
think I said a word.
No. We just got blah 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 blah.